Hey there, my name is Noah, and you're watching The Recap. This week in the news, the Hibernia Management and Development Company announced that it had halted operations on an oil rig outside of St. John's. The announcement comes just hours after roughly 12,000 liters of oil were spilt from the rig. Federal Green Party leader Elizabeth May has come under fire over the Green Party's position on the Alberta oil sands. The current plan would allow the oil sands to continue operating under a Green Party administration. The NOAA announced that June 2019 was the hottest in 140 years. This makes it the 414th consecutive month hotter than the 20th century average. Both federal and provincial governments are still looking for solutions after a landslide created a small waterfall in the Fraser River. The waterfall is currently preventing millions of Chinook salmon from moving upstream.
You can do everything from like get pumped up to write music to urinate to rocket.
But a lot of people come to us and they're like, why do you use this kind of language? What's the deal here? Why do you need to? And it's like, I don't know how to tell you that that's how we talk when we're comfortable and amongst friends. And so in our music, we want that to transfer into it. I'm not going to rap the way I write an essay or conduct an interview. It's completely different. And rap, because it is the music that we're making, it has to be a more honest expression of who we are and our identities, at least us. And for a lot of other artists, I think that is the case. And so when people are like, why does it have to be so explicit? It's like, have you spoken to me for longer than 20 minutes? I'm sorry, like what? I'm so confused. What do you want it to sound like?
I think for both of us, it kind of just like, songwriting just started happening and music just started happening. And
Yeah.
you're just like falling down the stairs of that whole world.
Yeah, it really is. Like sometimes you ask yourself that question, like why you do it, and it's 'cause, like it is that cliche of like you have to. There's really no way to stop, and it's how you get the politics off your chest. It's how you get all your feelings off your chest.
I think I would need like serious therapy if I didn't write
Yeah.
songs. So
Yeah, some people have shrinks, other people
just-
have music.
Sea lion woman.
We don't necessarily need one person to come and be the savior. We now, like, there's no one coming from out here clearly to change our situation. It has to happen internally. We have to be, each of us, that savior for each other.
And so we're always looking for ways to make it better, do it cheaper, do it easier, smarter, have more fun, and we've just got a really, really great group of people that we do this with. So it's getting easier and easier.
Our job is to go around the island. We have trash turnarounds stationed at all of the stages and all the food areas and everywhere in between. And we go around with carts and collect them all, bring them here, sort it all out a second time on the tables, and we just sort it into all our different waste streams.
oh whoa, we haven't been asked this question
No,
yet.
we haven't been asked this question, but I'm sure there's a million, so it shouldn't be hard
A
to pick.
story that needs to be told.
I mean, for me, it's every story. I think through perspective comes understanding. So, in my eyes, every story needs to be told.
I think there's a lot of really hardworking people that are behind the scenes, and I'm happy to some extent for those people to be out of sight, out of mind.
I think after working in waste management, a lot of the time you don't really realize how much you go through.
I mean, the story that I think no one has ever heard is this story of a South Indian gangster. I don't think you've heard that story unless you're in South India.
It's just a lot of things could be thwarted if we understood each other better. A lot of things could be halted before they even popped off if we understood each other's stories better. So,
Well, one that's been coming up a lot in the theme of the new record is sort of not just the economic divide, but sort of the class divide.
That people need to hear. It's a different story. I think it is a more inclusive story in a lot of ways. Yeah.
I don't know. You certainly don't complain about doing garbage in your own home after working here, but it's good fun.
Sort of take some pride in the seamlessness of it, that it just kind of magically pops up out of the ground.
And it's sort of in the air and static, and it's just kind of hitting us as we write.
We're including people that have been listening to the same music as us, watching the same media as us, but have never been able to quite find their place in it because it just doesn't exist, or because there just aren't enough of us. And the other story that needs to be told is the story about the porta potty I used like 15 minutes ago. Bone chilling story.